Hello everyone and welcome back to my weekly book reading series. We're reading my book, the one I love most. Every week you're going to get a chapter or two, and over the course of a few months you're going to get a free audiobook. If you want to read my book, you can of course buy it as well on Amazon as a paperback or Kindle ebook. I'll put the link in the description below, and this will be the only video with me talking in the beginning. All the other videos will just start right at the beginning of each chapter. I hope you like this book. I hope you enjoy me reading it to you. Let me know in the comments what you think about it, and without further ado, let's get started. Preface. Maybe I can manifest the life I want by writing a book about my life. I will tell it as it happened, with the ending of my dreams. So many people talk about scripting. I'm going to take it to the next level. My thinking out loud thoughts from over a year ago. I've been feeling the urge to write a book. I love reading novels, and whenever I love something, I feel like I have to try it myself. And I'm a horrible oversharer anyway. I love telling stories, my stories, the ones that move me. And if nothing else, it's something to read when I'm old and wrinkly. This is not a coming back from the dead or defying all odds story. It's simply a part of my journey. Somewhat ordinary and somewhat unique. I know how much it helps me to find myself in someone else's art. And it's such a gift when people can resonate with my songs, something I wrote, or something I shared in a conversation or on social media. There's nothing better than having that connection and feeling understood. And maybe, just maybe, somebody will feel that way reading this. Disclaimer: most names in this book are changed, but almost everything happened exactly like it is written. Chapter 1. Now. I know everything will be okay, despite my existential fears linked to my visa status in the United States. Going home to Germany and traveling back gives me so much anxiety sometimes that I almost don't want to go home at all, even if that means not seeing my family. Just now, my sister sent a picture with a ring on her finger to our family WhatsApp group. A couple of months ago, she and her now fiancé Michael announced that they are having a baby. To all of our surprise, they had planned it. We just didn't know about those plans. And of course, we are happy. When Natalie FaceTimed me back then and surprised me with the news that I'd be an aunt, I couldn't hold back my tears. They just came out. But since then, I am also having this growing sense of biological clockitis. Yes, I made that word up, which I've heard and read about so many times in movies, magazines, and novels. It just didn't seem like something I'd ever experience. Why would I not have a boyfriend and potential father of my children at 29? Yet here I am, single, struggling with my legal status in the country I chose to live in, far away from fame, riches, or the comforting prospect of my own family, which I always thought I'd have much earlier in my 20s. I am not in a rush to have children, even though my younger sister, by 1.5 years, seems to be far ahead of me now, basically married and a mother. I do, however, feel the rush to meet the man who will make all of this possible for me. The one who makes me so happy I can't think of anything else. The one who is honest and has genuine intentions towards me. And on top of that, is a semi-bodybuilder without posing on Instagram, has a great smile, shares my passion for saving and not eating animals, has a job, is healthy, and can be romantic. Those are just a few things on my list, and quite honestly, I'm having a hard time believing that such a man does exist for me at this point. It's Christmas Eve. We're eating sausages and sauerkraut at my grandma's place, just like every year, except that this time it's just my mom, my dad, grandma, and me, and Benny, the Yorkie, who at his age doesn't hear or see much of what's going on anymore. Natalie used to be here with us, but she has her own family now. And for the first time, I start to feel really old. What am I doing with my life? Will I be the crazy aunt in America? The one with no husband but a bunch of cats? The one with all the crazy ideas but no actual career? The one who is too weird to fit in anymore in a small place like this? Please eat more sausages. We have so many left, my dad says. And then addressing me, I also have some of yours left. I didn't make them all, but I can put more in the pan. By my sausages, he means the vegan ones. We might still follow our Christmas Eve tradition, but I insist on only eating vegan, and my family is more than okay with that, even if they haven't decided to switch to an exclusively plant-based diet themselves. I do pride myself in having made a positive impact in their lives as well, though. Thank you, Dad, I say. I am completely full. By the way, I casually remark, I don't think I want to go to church tonight. Christmas Eve service, basically in the middle of the night, always used to be something I looked forward to. Even after I moved so far away from home, it was always nice seeing familiar faces from the old days and talking to my old friends, even if it was just for a couple of minutes. But today, I don't even feel like I belong here enough to go there. And I'm tired. Are you sure? My mom answers. I mean, it's okay if you don't want to come. You can still think about it. But don't you usually like seeing all your old friends after the service is over? Yeah, I agree. It's nice, but everybody fizzles out within 5 minutes and it's not really worth it. So many of my old friends also attend the Christmas service at our church. I used to be in a youth group for a big chunk of my teenage years. I think some of them resent me and assume that I think I'm better because I moved to LA. The other ones who still greet me with the same enthusiasm year after year basically don't know me anymore, and catching up in 5 minutes at midnight is simply not possible. So it's never more than a, how are things going in LA? Do you have a green card already? It's good, and no, not yet, still working on that. How are you? Oh, you know, the same old. I'll stay up, but I'm gonna watch TV instead tonight. You guys said it's not the same anyway since Pastor D left, and Natalie said they aren't going either. I had gathered enough reasons to skip Christmas Eve service and not feel bad about it. Back at home, as I'm sitting on our couch, cuddled in a blanket, watching 3 Wishes for Cinderella, the Czech version of Cinderella, a Christmas classic in Germany, my phone in my hand, I start to feel very lonely. I know it was my choice to not go to the church with my family, but I would have felt lonely there too. I feel lonely because I don't have a man in my life. I feel behind, and even though I wouldn't want my sister's life, and my parents aren't one of those happy, stuck-to-each-other couples, I can't help but feel like a third wheel. It's not how they make me feel, it's just what I feel like. I am alone. I don't have a boyfriend. I pity myself. I can't even use my dating app here because it only shows you people who are within a certain radius. And as far as I know, all the men in any reasonable proximity are either married, in a relationship, complete dorks, or way too young for me. And apart from that, why would I even want to meet someone here if I'm going back to Los Angeles in a few days? I Google dating apps that let you search anywhere in the world. Coffee Meets Bagel comes up. I've heard about this before but haven't used it. I push the download button. I mean, what else am I going to do anyway? I can just browse while I'm stuck in the German holiday stillness. And while I'm at it, I'm also downloading OkCupid, which I have used before. I have a faint memory of it allowing me to set my location anywhere I want. I feel pretty desperate having downloaded 2 dating apps at once, while I should just be enjoying the holidays with my family, not longing for some imaginary boyfriend. But right now, I am alone, with Benny and Bounty, the gigantic cat. And who is going to judge me? I set up my profiles on both apps, and set my location to Pasadena, where I live when I'm in LA. After about half an hour, I have uploaded enough pictures and info about myself to where I feel confident to start swiping. Coffee Meets Bagel only allows me to swipe through 6 people per day, which I went through in no time. What a waste, I'm thinking. I go on OkCupid and swipe through about 100 guys in LA before getting frustrated and putting my phone away. I try to pet Bounty, who in return runs away from me after he leaves a nice big scratch on my left arm. I sigh and further cuddle myself into the blanket. I don't know where I belong anymore. I have 2 homes, and yet I always long for the one where I'm currently not. 5 minutes later, I hear the front door opening and my parents come in. I'm happy they're home. How was it? I ask. You didn't miss anything. Except your friends did ask about you, Mom says. They all asked, did Kathrin not come home this Christmas? And I had to catch them up on everything you've done recently. I don't even know what she would have caught them up on. I don't think I've done many exciting or interesting things in my life recently, or accomplished anything significant enough to be worth telling. But my mom sees all of that a bit differently. She's my mom, after all. What are you watching, daughter? My dad comes into the living room, looking at the TV screen and then at me. He never actually waits for an answer. Anyone care for some mulled wine before we go to bed? Bring it on, Mom says, and I agree. I don't drink much alcohol anymore, but tonight I think I can do with a cup.